Welcome to the Project Timebox overview session. In this session, we'll introduce the Timebox principle and view it from a number of different perspectives to try to understand it better. To start, no Agile practice is a one-size-fits-all approach. We need to understand the business and IT reality and the culture behind it and attempt to adapt to that. This means that the core Agile methodology should be followed, but the method can be customized or optimized so that the business and IT that are adopting it and implementing it can do it successfully. The OutSystems Agile methodology has several guiding principles. The Timebox principle, which means that the overall development will occur in a well-defined time frame. Collaboration and a collaborative approach between the delivery team and the stakeholders so that the groups begin to act as one team. We also know that development will occur in iterations, which gives us room for feedback and changes without budget impacts. We know that user feedback is gold to making sure that we can improve the overall solution. We want transparency throughout project and project management so that people understand where things are, and we want full visibility on the progress and the execution of the project. All of this will allow for more overall flexibility in how the solution is built. So, given those guiding principles, let's see how the overall Timebox timeline occurs. Now there are four main phases: initiation, iteration development, solution release, and post-production. In initiation, we'll begin preparing for the project to start. And this will include doing a workshop with the whole team, where we begin identifying the project vision, goals and personas, the business context, as well as the business processes. And we'll gather all of this and place it into a vision document, which is kept alive during the project and is key to guiding the project throughout the life cycle. This document is key because it provides the high-level plan and the goals that should be followed. Now, during the initiation phase will be the first time that the team gets to meet, including the project team, the stakeholders, the business users, and everyone else. Now, we need to use that time effectively so that the team gets to know each other, and we need to understand the business users and their needs and motivations, because their journey is what we're attempting to build the solution for. We also need to make sure that the delivery team itself understands the delivery practice that's going to be used and how everyone will be working together. In the iteration development phase, we'll be delivering different iterations based on what is needed inside of the user stories. There'll also be a shaping phase, though, that will be focused on the next iteration by prioritizing the backlog and analyzing and choosing the user stories that will be implemented in the next iteration. There's also some work being done from the previous iteration, which includes business tests and the validation of delivered user stories of all of the work that was done in the previous iteration. And that takes us to the solution release phase. This phase has user acceptance testing and makes sure that the user stories can be accepted. It will close out all of the preparation for the rollout, and at the end of the phase will actually go live. And the final phase, which is post-production, and we'll want to reserve some time in post-production for monitoring the live app, doing some performance tuning and making improvements. This may include quick wins from different parts of user feedback or addressing minor change requests that the business has given us. So here's the same framework again, except this case we're zooming in on a single iteration. This single iteration will last between 2 and 3 weeks. And here we can already see a glimpse of the 3 different tracks that we mentioned that take place in it. Development and testing of the scope for the current iteration. Analysis, which is the business analysis and creation of the backlog from the set of user stories which are already, and agreeing on the planning and scope for the next iteration. And finally, there's stabilization, where even before the final iteration demo to the business is done, there are some tests, and the validation and tests are being done by the business analyst and the tester. Of course, when we look at that main area, there are some other key Agile mechanisms that are there. We can see that there are daily stand-up or scrums so that we can get daily progress status on the project and make sure the team is still aligned. And at the end, there's an iteration retrospective. So the team can be aligned and more focused on the team itself and the delivery process that they're using. Finally, we have what we call a reference allocation. So let's take a look at the roles involved in the process. Most roles are involved in the initiation workshop that will produce the project vision. This is also so that the project starts out with all the information it needs and the business and development teams are aligned. This time frame may be reduced if a business vision workshop was done because it provides a lot of information that can be leveraged for the project. In the iteration development phase, many of the roles are only needed part-time. The core development team, seen in yellow and blue below, will be almost completely dedicated to the project. The product owner may or may not be completely dedicated to the project, depending on whether or not it's a first release or a later release. But the tech lead and the developers are almost always 100% committed. The blue and yellow colors indicate suggestions of when teamwork should be done together on site or could be done remotely. The third phase, during solution release, the core team allocation levels should be maintained and the business involvement will increase because of the acceptance testing and to make sure that everything is ready to go live. And in post-production, it's really the tech lead that is doing a majority of the work, and that's because they'll be looking at the monitoring and performance tuning with the product owner and the devs on a part-time basis. The experts are only allocated at certain times in the project when their specific skills are needed. So that's a quick summary of the overall project delivery, the roles that are involved, and their allocation at different times. So that's it for the Project Timebox overview session. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.